Greetings. Hope all is well. We are on our road to hitting the 2,000 subscriber mark. And in the way of YouTube, I know it seems like a very small number, but it's a bit of a big deal for a channel. Once you get to that mark, things start to flow a little bit more in the algorithm of the YouTube world. So really am trying to hit that number, and I can only do that with your support. But I'd only love to have your support if you enjoy this channel. So if you do enjoy this content, anything that you see here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that bell notification so that you get those notifications when I do new videos. And I want to say thank you to the growing number of subscribers that are coming along and leaving positive, nice comments. I really do want to thank you because I'm grateful for it. You know, we get all kinds of comments, and you do get negative ones once in a while, but you know, you tend to get a bit of a thick skin. You get pretty resilient with that. But hearing these wonderful comments is nice, and I very much appreciate it. You know, we're starting to get viewers who are looking at some of the videos from in the past, like things that I've done a couple of years ago, like the Jedi video that I have, which was a fun video to make. And so you're catching these videos and you're enjoying them and you're making it known, and I very much appreciate that. So thanks again for all this, and I'm glad to be able to touch the people who feel that they need these videos. Not everyone needs these videos, but some people really do. Or for some people, it just comes at the right time. And I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just kind of am lucky that way, where I'm in tune with some of the needs for some people. And so we're going to continue doing that. And anyhow, today we're going to talk about a few things I want to touch upon. I want to talk about the cool alignment of the 7 planets that just happened, some of the effects towards that.
The last week of January, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune will all be visible in the night sky, offering a rare cosmic spectacle. But beyond the breathtaking sight, what drives these celestial events? Could they offer clues about the forces that govern the universe?
Also want to explore the idea of, I want to talk about whether or not it's possible for people uniting now in the world. You know, we're seeing a change. Big changes, not just in the US, but all over the world. And I'm wondering if now is the time where we can start to see that unity happening. We all feel the division. Well, we need some change. And so I also want to touch on the TikTok addiction that exposed itself. You know, a lot of people love TikTok, and they have for years, but we all know that it is a bit of a mind-numbing app out there.
Get off that Don Julio, Echo Folio.
Sit up. This is a string, okay? This is a string. Now I'm gonna put it in this ear and through this ear. Now grab this side and pull it really hard.
No. I walked into Ulta Beauty and I walked right out.
There's a lot of fun content and a lot of funny things and maybe some interesting things.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low.
But we all know that there is an addiction towards it, and that exposed itself when the threat of it being shut down just happened. In fact, it was like 1 day away from being shut down, and then the decision to keep it going was made, and now people were relieved. But it did expose itself. So we'll look at these things. You know, that 7 planet alignment was pretty cool. I thought that the magnetic field around that is causing something to Earth. So I'm wondering, you know, when it's a full moon, often I know that there's a full moon because not only can I feel it, but I can feel it in the people around me. I can even feel it in my dog. So now when you have the celestial phenomena that's happening where the alignment is happening in such a way that the magnetic fields, would they be amplified as they are in that alignment? I'm not too sure. So my question is how does it affect people? And I'm wondering if it has affected you in any way. If you will, think about yourself in the past couple of days. Think about how you've been feeling. Have you had low energy, for example? Have you had high abundance of energy? And if so, please leave a comment down below and let us know your experience. It certainly has had an effect in one way, and that's the fact that, you know, our attention has been brought to that, and with that it has brought in some buzz to it, you know, some excitement to it. And when people have that kind of positive, exciting energy, it kind of rubs off on the people around them, and people get excited. And when people get excited, tend that you know, that just amplifies the energy of, you know, people having a good mood. Now, so that's one effect, right? But the other effect too, when the magnetism affects people, it affects their digestive system. It affects their sleep pattern, which overall affects their mood and their cognitive reactions to things, you know? And so in a sense, it really should have some form of effect one way or another. All right. So now I want to talk about the unity of the world. You know, this is something I think we all agree that we want. Maybe not everybody. There are people who live in drama and are entertained by the drama, and they even troll and push for negative reactions. But I think on a whole, we're all tired of the conflict that's between us. But the problem has always been that when you have different views, they collide sometimes. And in this case with the American election, there's been an enormous amount of fear on both sides. Each side thinking, oh, if we lose the election, then, you know, all heck's going to go. And everyone was so afraid. And now we have Donald Trump in the presidency, and he's doing his thing. All right. He's moving along aggressively. And my thought is that one of the reasons why he's moving so fast on a lot of these big issues is that he knows his days are numbered. You know, he knows that he might die tomorrow. I honestly think that that's what's going through his mind. I just kind of feel that vibe, and I've looked at his body language, and I put a lot of 2 and 2s together, and I think that that's one of the things that drives him, is that he knows that he needs to do this quickly because he may not live very long. And so with that power that he has and the new changes that are in other countries like Canada and Europe, maybe now's the time we start to see some form of unity as people's point of view towards Donald Trump seems to change. There seems to be that happening where people who despised him are now at least giving him a chance and just going to let him do his thing. One of the things that I can say is that there probably would not be 100% unity. Possible, yes, probably not. But here are some of the things that you can do to overcome whatever it is that you're feeling inside, should you be feeling negative, right? And listen, if you're happy about the change, then some of this is good for you as well, because you need to learn how to cope and deal with other people who are in their minds suffering. or in fear. So now if you are suffering and you are in fear, that you need to deal with. Okay, you need to go through the motions of why are you afraid and really think about it. I mean, some people are really making it sound like it's a life and death situation, and it's not. I've seen some of the things online. People are like, we're going to die. And it's like, no, you're not going to die. And other people are just really afraid of their way of life changing. And that could be. And that could be. And you need to be prepared for that. So look at what is causing fear within you and start to deal with that, because this is a normal reaction and people have to deal with their fears all the time. So it's not the end of the world, but you have to be able to cope with and deal with your own fears. Now, just like I feel sometimes towards negative comments in my comment sections of my videos, you have to develop some sort of resiliency to the feedback that you're getting, to the negativity. And remember that you have to also refrain from attacking others. And if you feel that you're being attacked and you're not strong enough, find yourself some people who can help build your strength, who can help protect you while you grow your strength, okay? But keep in mind, you don't want to find other people who are just going to elevate your anger, okay? Don't just go finding people who are going to side with you to tell you that you're right and that you need to fight. I'm not saying not to fight, but I am saying that in order to find unity and find a positive flow forward for everyone, we all need to work together in a sense, and we need to talk about our differences. And that's always been the case, right? For every relationship that you have, go to any therapist and they'll tell you, you're having difficulty with your spouse, communication is the most important thing. And as we see the world sort of behave in an immature way, I think if you take a step back and start thinking about the last 10 years, maybe you'll find, like I have, everyone has just been a little bit immature. No matter the age, they can be 60-year-old men acting immature. But speaking of inner growth and acting immature, hey, this development with TikTok really exposed people's addiction, right? And I think everybody on TikTok knows about the addiction. Everybody talks about, hey, like all I do is scroll, and I get attached to this, 10-second, 30-second video clips, and you just move on to the next, and it gives you that dopamine hit. We're all aware of it. And even those who are addicted know of it. So you need to treat it like it is an addiction. It's like a gambling addiction. It's like a drug addiction. It's like a game addiction. And we need to overcome that, because it could only mean bad things for you in your life. It can ruin your relationships. It can ruin your work. It could take you away from valuable time. And I think that's part of the argument that we are all aware of. Being stuck in a loop of videos just takes you away from exploring life and doing other beneficial things. And so taking care of yourself is one of them. So, right now, the thing about TikTok, one of the biggest arguments that I hear is that, the reason why they were going to ban TikTok is because of the China influence that it has, right? Apparently it's owned by China, although when I looked into it, the shareholders are mostly American, which makes it more American. Regardless, when you have an adversary, which is China is kind of sort of an adversary. They're kind of like an adversary that's in the brewing in the background. We still deal with them economically. We're all buying their products. We still love Temu, and we still love all these other things coming from China. We love the Chinese products. So we're still in a relationship with them in that sense. China owns a lot of other programs and apps than just TikTok, and we are all aware of that too. So that's where the argument lies: is that, well, why are you just banning TikTok? Why don't you ban this and you ban that and you ban this? And that's valid to me. It sounds right to me. And honestly, it's not just about spying. It's about the algorithm. We all know about algorithms and how they influence people. We've seen it on Facebook and we can see it on YouTube. The algorithm definitely can influence people, and they can persuade people into thinking in certain ways. And so this is where the governments are saying China has this power over people through their TikTok, is to start influencing people, spying on them, seeing what their algorithms show, start to see what makes people in America tick, what they like and what they do and what they're up to. And so you can get a lot of information from that. And if you don't believe me, trust me, again, you can. All right. This is a lot of espionage kind of things that you could get a lot of information from people by seeing what they're watching on these TikTok things. The government needs to explain a little bit more of what they mean by China's influence on TikTok or in any other app talk about. So more to follow on that. And I would really like to know what your opinions are on how it affected you. All right. So you know what? Before we go, I want to show you my cool new axe that I got. So I got this for my birthday, which happened recently. And I didn't know what to make of it there. This was made by a local is it blacksmith? You still call them? So this was made locally, and I don't know if that makes sense there. And it's not the typical axe that I would go out and chop wood with. You know, this is more of a Viking axe. And at first I was wondering if it was a display piece, but you know what? The more I looked into it, this could be very practical out in the woods. So come the time to go out and start chopping wood, I'm going to be bringing this with me on my adventures. And I can tell you that the craftsmanship is really good, you know, and that's what also excited me. That's what made me went from, is this just a display or is it actually practical? And when you see the quality on here, it is really, I think it's meant to be used. And the leather work here too, which is something, you know, I admire, absolutely is top notch. So, wow, really excited about this. And I'm excited to hit that 2,000 mark. If we can get there, it'll make a big change. Listen, thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. As always, enjoy life. Take care, and I wish you well.